we're looking operations with radical expressions, and we're using products and quotients. So right now we're going to do products. So we're going to multiply. We're going to distribute the square root on the outside to the inside. So square root, when you multiply square roots, you're multiplying what's inside of the square root. So square root of 3 times square root of 6 is square root of 18. Plus, if its number is not inside the square root, you just keep it on the outside. So square root of 3 times square root of 7 is, not square root of 7, 7. It would be 7 square root of 3. We're not finished because 18 can be broken up. So it would be 9 times 2. I could break up 9, which would be 3. Square root of 2 plus 7 square root of 3. They do not have the same square roots, so that's how you leave it. Okay, so square root of 5 times 2 is 2 square root of 5. Plus square root of 5 times square root of 10, which is square root of 50. Well, the biggest square root that could go, perfect square, that could go into 50 is 25. So I have 25 times 2. I'm going to break up 25. I'm going to put it on the side here. I have more room. So 2 square root of 5 plus square root of 25 is 5 and left over is 2. So now I can put these two together. So 2 plus 5 is 7 square root of 5. All right. So then I have C. I multiply. So 2x times 6x would be 12x squared, square root, minus 11 square root of 2x. I could break up 12, which would be 4, and I could break, and that would be 3. And x squared is a perfect x squared, so I'm going to put it with a 4x. So I'm going to break up 4x squared, which would be 2x, square root of 3, minus 11 square root of 2x. And here's your answer. Please try D by yourself. All right, so I have 5a plus 3 square root of 5a. All right, next section. Okay, so this next part, example 4, is kind of like FOIL. We did FOIL before, so we're going to do FOIL again. So, that's chapter 9 if you forgot how to do it. So we have first, so it's going to be square root of 5 times square root of 5, which is square root of 25. Then square root of 5 times 2 square root of 15, which would be plus 2 square root of, 15 times 5, 75. 75. And now we do inner, so it would be minus 2 square root of 75. And then outer, would be minus 4 square root of 225. All right, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to bring down that to E just so I have the space. These two put together, 2 square root of 75 minus 2 square root of 75 makes 0, so that crosses out. But now I can do the outer parts. So square root of 25 is 5. And then minus over here, 4 times. Okay, 225, that's a perfect square root, and that's 15. So it's going to be 4 times 15. So 5 minus 4 times 15 times 15 equals 60. So it would be negative 55. So there's your answer. So let's try another one. So 2 square root of 6 times square root of 6 would be 2 square root of 36. And then you're going to do outer, which would be negative 10 square root of 18. And then you would have plus 3 square root of 18. And then minus 15 square root of 9. I could bring these two together, the middles together, and I could break up the outer two numbers. So I'm going to make them different colors. So I have 2 times 6 for the outer, and then this would be negative 7 square root of 18, and this would be negative 15 times 3. So this would be 12, and I could break up square root of 18, but I'm going to bring over 15 times 3, which is 45. Jacob, please get down. Square root of 18. I could break up square root of 18 into 9 and 2. So I could break that up into 3, so multiply that by 3. So 12 minus 45. 12 minus 45 equals negative 33. And that would be minus 21 square root of 2. And there's your answer for that. Now, where I put C, so it's going to be square root of 7 plus 4 squared. I'm going to make it, if it has a square like this, you're going to just rewrite it twice. So you're going to do plus 4 and square root of 7 plus 4 and do your outer inner last stuff. So square root of 7 times square root of 7 is square root of 49, which equals 7. Square root of 7 times 4 would be 4 plus 4 square root of 7. And then again another 4 plus square root of 7, which that makes 8 square root of 7 plus. And then plus 16, which is plus 16. Again, I can bring the 7 and the 16 together, and that is 23. So you would do 23 plus 8 square root of 7. You're just taking stuff you did from chapter 9 and bringing it into your lessons.
What the heck? This car's
Okay, so to get rid of square roots at the bottom, when you have two of them at the same time, to get rid of them, you do the opposite sign of what they say. So you will have square root of 5 plus square root of 2. If you do that to the bottom, you multiply them to the bottom, you need to multiply them to the top. Oh, wrong number. 2. So the top would be 6 parentheses square root of 5 plus square root of 2. And to make it easy with yourself, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is going to be just 5. And then square root of 2 times square root of 2, you always will have a minus sign. And then it's going to be 2. So equals 3. Okay. So now I could reduce. If I could reduce the 3 and the 6, immediately do it. So I could do 1 here and 2 here. And then now you have 2 on the outside, so you could distribute the 2. So it's going to be 2 square root of 5 plus 2 square root of 2. And there's your answer. So again, B. I have two square roots on the outside. And they're adding, so this time you're going to subtract them. So it's 10 square root of 10 minus square root of 8. Goodbye. Quietly leave. So square root of 10 minus square root of 8. So you're going to have 4 square root of 10 minus square root of 8. And then you do 10 minus 8, which equals 2, which means I could reduce the 2. 2 and the 4, so that's 1 and 2. Then I could distribute the 2. So it's 2 square root of 10 plus 2 square root of 8. Now, for your knowledge, sometimes it's not going to be completely done at this time. I could break up 8 into a perfect square. So square root would be 4 and 2. And so square root of 4 is 2, so I'm going to multiply the outside by 2. So it'd be 4 square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 10. So that's how you do that one. So what are you going to do for E? It says subtraction, so I'm going to add them. So square root of 11 plus square root of 3 over square root of 11 plus square root of 3. So it's going to be 4 square root of 11 plus square root of 3 over 11 minus 3. Remember, you're always subtracting the bottom. And 11 minus 3 is something. I don't know. 11 minus 3. Miss Carson's brain's not working. 8. But I could reduce that. So I'm going to have 2 on the bottom and 1 on top. So it's going to be square root of 11 plus square root of 3 over 2. And there's your answer. We are not doing example 6, so here's how you do the answers for all those. Goodbye.